Today I'm going to do a video on this Camplux camp stove that doubles as a grill and also has like a baking toasting feature on it, which is a pretty unique feature to have on a camp stove. So I thought it'd be worth a video. Let's get into it. Okay, so before I open this thing up, kind of go over the exterior. You've got a nice thin profile, which is another thing that I like about it. This is where you attach the propane canister, which we'll do in a second. And then you got a couple latches. Now, pretty thin latches right here. A couple knobs for the burners. A little handle, carrying handle. Latch on this side. And we'll open this up. Let's see if we can do this two-handed. Alright, now on this side, you've got a little latch. Keep it open. On this side, you've got one as well. Okay, so 3 knobs for the burners. All together, this is a 20,000 BTU camp stove. This is your standard burner right here. Got another standard burner right here. And then in the middle, this is where you have like your grill baking tray type setup. Now, the way I think I've come, there's not a lot of information on this camp stove, and I tried to see if there were any other videos about it, and I haven't seen any. So I understand how the baking tray works pretty well, but the grill I'm still kind of confused about. I've tried it with just putting this little grill piece right here, and I cooked one single burger on it, but there's not much of a grease trap, and so as the burger was cooking, it would kind of flame up a bit, and I wasn't super comfortable with it, and so I just went back to pan frying the burger. Now below here, you kind of see it's got like, we'll turn this on in a little bit because I'm going to make breakfast and I'll show you guys. But there is this burner right here that kind of acts like a broiler. And so part of me also thinks like maybe you're just supposed to put the grill on this baking tray down here and kind of use it more as a broiler, not so much a grill. Just being that when the grease is falling on the burner, you're having, things flame up, and I just didn't think that was very safe. So I think this may be the way you're supposed to kind of do it, which is not what I expected initially, and so a little bit bummed about that, but it probably would still work just fine if you wanted to, I don't know, grill up a single piece of steak or a burger or something like that. But it is pretty small if you were looking to do like for a bunch of people. Really not the best option. And get some propane hooked up to this thing real quick. Now I'm going to take this grill piece out because I'm not going to need that this morning. But this is how the baking tray works. You slide these little guys in here, and then you slide that thing into place. Now the 2 burners have these automatic ignition switches, but the middle burner, which is like your baking tray, which we'll use in a little bit, doesn't have that, so you have to actually light that. So what I'm going to do right now is just get some breakfast started, and we'll go from there. Alright, get some eggs going. Alright, eggs are just about done. Gonna rotate the bagels. That's one thing I've noticed is like you gotta like rotate it a little bit to make sure you got like a nice even cover on it. The cheese is already starting to melt. Now one thing about this little tray right here is the second I turn on, the first time we used it, turn on this burner, it started to kind of like warp and discolor a little bit. Probably not a big deal, but just a note on that use case. All right, another note on the knobs here. couple different trips that we've gone on so far, and 2 of the trips, one of these knobs has just fallen off, and so something you need to be aware of as well. But overall, I think the temperature control is pretty good on these. Like I said, it's a 20,000 BTU combined, and so these burners probably get, I don't know, 6, 7 BTUs, 7,000 BTUs. And so it does get pretty hot, but you do have some pretty good control in between. One thing I wish is it had, I know it's open like this so you can get this in here, but I wish there was some kind of cover to catch like the grease and stuff, because afterwards cleaning it is a little bit of a chore just because of how easy it is for the grease to get underneath the burners and stuff. You really have to get in there and clean it up. Alright, so the eggs are done, and the bagel's just about there. So this is what I like about it, really, is primarily this function. I like to have breakfast sandwiches quite a bit, and so it's a real easy thing, low mess, easy to clean up. So good breakfast for when you're out camping. And there's not really very many camp stoves where you can get like a good melt, especially when it comes to like melting cheese on your burger, or in this case like on your bagel. And so that is what I like about it. Outside of that, there's definitely some things that I would change about it, like the knobs. I wish there was some kind of tray down here. I would be willing to sacrifice a little bit of size on this. Like, it's got a nice low profile, so that's great for packing. I would be willing to sacrifice a little bit and have a little bit more height if I could have something to catch all the grease down here. But overall, set aside from like the grill feature, the baking tray feature, it's a pretty average camp stove, but it's at a pretty reasonable price at like 90 bucks. All right, my buddy Josh also cooked me up some bacon to go with it. So I got some bacon on the sandwich, some bacon on the side, and some nice orange juice. So I'm gonna have some breakfast. Set aside from that, there's not much else I can really say much about the camp stove. Like I said, the reason it interested me is because of those unique features, the grill and the baking tray. I haven't seen that on a camping stove before, so it really caught my eye, and I wanted to try it out. I'll be trying it out for a little bit while longer. I have been on the hunt for a new camp stove. The old Coleman that I had before just was not cutting it for me, and so I'm on the hunt for a new camp stove, and this is where I'm at right now, trying this one out. So thanks for watching, you guys. We'll catch you in the next one.